hello and welcome back to the channel. I'm Richard and this is Lap of the World, your home for road trips and racetracks, among other things. Now if that sounds interesting, or if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to click the subscribe button down in the corner along with a bell notification. And that way you will get a notification anytime we're able to take another adventure and check another track off our list. Currently, it is the end of February in Tennessee. It snowed yesterday. School got a late start this morning, and it's about 20-something degrees outside. I'm wearing shorts and a t-shirt. Why? Because screw that mess, I'm going to Florida. Headed south then on I-75. We're still in Tennessee at this point. I got a little bit of a late start this morning, but our eventual goal, 7 and some change hours down the road, is just southwest of Jacksonville, Florida, at the Florida International Rally and Motorsports Park, which I will refer to going forward as the FIRM. The FIRM, in addition to being a slick acronym, is a multifaceted motorsports and training facility nestled alongside the Keystone Heights Airport in Starke, Florida. In operation since 1999, in addition to the 1.6-mile road course that we'll be exploring in this video, the FIRM also boasts 22 miles of various surface rally stages used by the in-house Rally Pro School. And if that's not enough, the site is also used by ISA, the International Security Academy, for training various government and private security agencies in on- and off-road high-risk driving, among other things. Anyway, I digress. We have, like I said, we have 7 and some change hours to go. My goal is to make it before the cutoff for Friday evening check-in at the track. So, I will get back to driving, and I will pick you guys up from the FIRM. Of course, as sometimes happens on road trips, I did not quite make it by my target time. Thank you, Atlanta traffic. No big deal though, as I just set the alarm a little bit earlier to take care of registration in the morning. Alright folks, well I apologize for the wind noise to start with. It's a little blustery here. I came down to Florida to get out of the rain, and I've accomplished that. The cold, well, not yet. If you can tell by my attire, it's warmer than it was when I left Knoxville, but it's still in the 30s this morning at just before 9 o'clock. So, however, there is promise that it's going to warm up. Anyhow, I've just finished checking in and registering with Just Track It, who's the provider today for our track time. And if any of you are out there aspiring track day providers, this is how it's done. So I showed up here, and with my registration, I got the obligatory wristbands. I also got a lanyard with the schedule printed on it. I don't know if you understand how nice that is. I don't have to go looking for the schedule or fish through a piece of paper, or try and pull it up on my phone if we have sketchy Wi-Fi or sketchy, sketchy cell service. Then, in addition, I got a big packet with a large track map, and even came with one of my little decals, so I don't have to order one this time. I'm gonna wait till I've done at least one session to put it on, because I feel like if I didn't, it would be some sort of jinx probably. Additionally, I was able to get a set of numbers along with my registration. Well, that's optional, so I had some, but I had vinyl numbers ready for me when I got here. And did I mention this was this is still right next to an active airport? So what you're hearing behind me sounds like, if I'm not mistaken, That is a stunt plane of some kind. I doubt you're going to be able to see that into the sun, but nonetheless, we are here. I'm through tech and I'm registered, so I'm going to get the car ready. I've got about 20 minutes to the first session, so I will talk to you guys in the car. Alright guys, we are out on the firm. Respecting the blend line, checking my mirrors, and here we go. Alright, so let's take a lap of the firm as I'm still learning it here real quick. We're going to go down to second for turn 10, we're calling it. We're going to maintain a single steering input here, trying to roll it through turn 1. We're going to get on the brakes for turn 2, be super late on this one so we can actually make turn 3. Not tracking all the way out because we're still going slow. We're just going to kind of roll it through here. Not trying to go off at all this early, but just trying to carry a little bit of speed. That fast right, here's a not so fast right. We actually are going to brake for it. Let it come out. Use all the track, such as that there is. And using all the track, I just kind of left it in third gear and rolled it through there. And then we're coming up to the S's, which is a fun little autocross section here. I have a feeling I'll be able to use some curb here later in the day once the tires are warm, but for right now we're going to stay off of them. Then we're going to get super late apex for the hairpin. Use the track, but don't drop a wheel in the hole. Watch the Camaro fishtail behind us. Alright, on the brakes here, roll some speed in because this is banked. Let it come all the way out here and then wrap it back in for the apex. Use all the track on the exit plus the apron. Don't drop a wheel. Take this gentleman's point by. Give a point by in return to the Camaro, who's been very patient with me here because he's been out for a lap. He's got an extra lap on me. Looking at the track from a different perspective, a lap of the firm starts not with the first turn, but with the last. After the heaviest braking zone on the track, turn 10 effectively begins your lap by starting a fast arc through turn 1 and into the braking zone for turn 2. Turn 2 can catch out the unaware with a blind and fairly late apex, but it's important to get right as it leads on to what should be the second longest stretch of full throttle on the track. Turn 3 being just a formality as you pin the gas and track out before sweeping back to track left to set up for the turn 4 kink. Carry as much speed as you dare through 4 and get ready to brake for turn 5, a still pretty quick 45-degree right with less room to track out than you'd hope. That is followed quickly by another right-hander, this one a 90-degree bend for turn 6, which puts you onto a short chute leading into the S's. I found the first 2 curbs in the S's were a fair game in my car with relatively compliant suspension, but you'll want to stay off the last 2 curbs and set up track left for a smooth arc through the hairpin. Another short straight leads you to turn 9 in one of the most intimidating braking zones on the circuit. Carrying speed into the turn 9 banking isn't for the faint of heart, but doing so and getting the exit right means you'll carry good speed onto the main straight, back towards turn 10, and another lap of the firm. Right, so I've been having so much fun that I actually forgot to check back in. Normally I do a little download after the first session or 2, but we are now 3 sessions and fortunately 30 degrees warmer into the day at the firm with Just Track It. So what are my thoughts so far? I think both organizations are amazing, both Just Track It and the firm as a facility. Everyone, without exception, that I've talked to or interacted with either the track or Just Track It have all been amazing across the board, right on from like management down to the ladies in the office. I know it can be taxing, I'm sure, to get a bunch of questions from some idiot running around with a pile of cameras bolted to his car. But they have been extremely accommodating, and I definitely appreciate that. I hope this video does both the track provider organization as well as the track itself. I hope it does them justice. Because I've been having a ton of fun so far. The track itself is neat. I don't think there's really it is definitely something different. It has fast sections, has some nice, like, you know, how big are your attachment sections, you know, some fast kinks, late braking zones, super technical S section that you really have to get through in a tidy fashion to set yourself up for the following hairpin, which is not the simplest thing to do. Couple of turns that I think I'm approaching getting right, but I haven't quite gotten yet. So yeah, I'm going to continue to kind of work on that. I have already, fortunately, unfortunately, I guess, I've already beaten both of my video reference times that I was kind of looking at. If I had to make a goal for myself time-wise, which I don't like doing because it can lead to overdriving and other shenanigans, and there aren't very many walls here, but there are a couple, and you don't want to hit them. And unfortunately, it's probably where I'm losing some of my time, is going into the banked turn where there's a wall directly on the outside. But I'd say probably under a minute 20 in my car would be, I would consider that an achievement. I think I've seen a 120.6. I don't think I've gone faster than that. I honestly haven't been paying a whole lot of attention to the timer. I've just been trying to focus on the line, focus on the turns, make sure I'm learning the track on the first day. You know, tomorrow maybe I'll play around a little bit, but yeah, so hopefully we were kind of trying a different format on my track visits here, so hopefully this has been entertaining and you're enjoying what you're watching. I'm going to get ready for the next session. I will talk to you guys later. Well, good afternoon from the firm. We've wrapped up what's going to be our last session for the day, and have learned a lesson about which one curb in particular that we shouldn't use. Don't worry, the only hint I had that I had used too much curb was this. It was hanging on by a thread when I pulled back in the paddock. I thought I felt something, kind of an extra rubbing noise in the front, and I got out and went up to look at it, and the fender liner had made a bid for freedom. It's not the first time it's done that, but it's probably the last time that that particular fender liner will have an opportunity to do this. I had abused it thoroughly probably 5 or 6 years ago, running way too wide of a tire on the front of the car with my time trial aspirations. I was running a 235 on the front, and it just it didn't fit. So having already been chewed up, this was kind of the straw that broke the camel's back. Yumped too much of a curb, the tire grabbed it and then just tore it straight off, but otherwise no harm done to the car. So I put it up in the air and checked everything out just to make sure, but it wasn't a very hard hit. It just kind of bumped the tire too far up, so that is what it is. But I'm going to call it a day for day one at the firm with the Just Track It. So far, amazing experience. I've had a lot of fun kind of playing around with people in my group. I've had some good fun kind of lead follow, impromptu lead follow exercises with a fellow and a gentleman in a white Camaro that I just talked to, as well as this Thunder Roadster that you'll see behind me over here. So I think you'll have you'll either see that in this video or in the Just the Laps video that I'll put out, because that was kind of fun to see where they were gaining time and where I was able to pull some time back on them running very similar lap times. Anyway, I'm going to take it to the house, get some food, or I'll take it to the hotel, get some food, charge some cameras, and I will be back in the morning, so we will talk to you then. That food and sleep plan was only slightly delayed by swapping out this spent rotor in the parking lot of the Palatka Advance Auto Parts store. Thanks again to the fellow behind the counter for being cool about that, even though I didn't end up needing to buy anything to complete the job. Back on track the next morning, I managed to back up my 120.6 from Saturday with another one, followed by a 120.9, and finally a personal best 120.5. Here's what that looked like with some data overlaid. So not quite the sub-minute 20 lap I was shooting for, but respectable enough to earn my sticker, I hope. And with that, it was time to say goodbye to the firm. Thanks to Nabil and company with Just Track It for a great event, and thanks to everyone at the firm for the amazing hospitality. Thanks in particular to John with the firm for answering a ton of my questions, allowing me some supplemental track access, and contributing his drone and drone piloting skills to the cause. You have him to thank for all of the aerial imagery in this video and any future videos on the firm. So what have I accomplished for the weekend? Well, I've checked another track off the list. This is the firm was number 23, if you're keeping count, and one of several more Florida tracks I have to drive as it happens. I think the only other Florida track that I've actually driven at this point is Sebring. So I have quite a few to go. I'll be back, Florida. But yeah, so we've finished the event, car intact. We're headed back to Knoxville to plot and scheme what's next. And if you don't want to miss that, don't forget to click subscribe with the bell below, and that way you'll get a notification when we upload whatever it is we come up with next and wherever it is we're going next. If you also aren't following the firm and Just Track It, both of which are active on social media, I've left links to their information in the video description below. I'm sure they would also appreciate your support. I definitely appreciated their hospitality. So, having said that, I'm Richard, this is Lap of the World, and I will see all of you in the next video, if not at the track.